Hope all you swabbies are still awake. Late Night Mega here. And tonight we're starting Tier 8. It's actually kind of been like a couple of... Nightmare Frogs! It's actually been a couple of weeks since I last played this. Due to things going on in my personal life, but I've still been able to just barely keep up with the uploads here. This is the library. Quiet! This is the library! Oh no, I've been sucked out of this computer game into real life. And when you die in real life, you die in the game. Okay. What to do next? I'm reading a Choose Your Joe adventure book. Uh-huh. Legendary Proto Shield. Oh yeah, they would love that. Alright, this is... I realize he's reading a book. Oh gosh. If you jump, if you shoot, if you defend... We jump. It works. He fires a few shots towards where you were standing. You're already airborne, and they sail right under you. And your shield for a moment, see what they'll do next. Predictably, he shoots again, and his buster shots ding harmlessly off your shield. Your instincts tell you to drop your shield and return fire, but you're caught up in the thrill of having actually dodged an attack, something few Joes have experienced. You jump again for the last time. When you look down and gloat at Proto-Man, you notice his armor changing colors. He summons a barrier of swirling skulls and leaps into the air towards you. Next time you hit the ground, you are more jelly than Joe. I am not going through all those choices. We are going to go to 39th place by Sarisa, The End of Needleman. And, well, Parmesan and Freems didn't really like this stage, but PK Ouija and... This can't be a good sign when M-Jack is the one that really likes a stage and nobody else has a score quite near that. Remember what happened last time? Let's get into it. Ooh, goodies. The goodies I don't even need, but you know what, whatever. How did I fail that? So, yeah, anyways. I don't remember if there was... my point from earlier. I don't remember if there was anything I needed to do or pick up, prior to... Ow. Prior to coming to Tier 8, I thought there was. We have footholder platforms. Not horrible. Not horrible. Okay, never mind. This is horrible. If M-Jack doesn't complain about this being over a bunch of instant death, then, yeah, she's gonna be fired again. Because every other stage it's been actually decent, and had a lot of death pits, like this one is shaping up to be. Hey, why do you put the stage gimmicks over instant death pits? Maybe because if they weren't, they'd be kind of pointless. What is all this? What, really? I can go up or down. We're gonna go... Well, we're going this way. Oh, yep, I just fell through that. There's an M-tank up there that I don't really need. Who does Sparkman think he is? dumping his junk here. And what's with that digging? I swear those punks are all trying to move in on my turf. Well, I'll show them. Interesting continuity with some other Mega Man 3 Robot Masters. It's a living. You trying to cross up there? Sorry, not sorry. I feel everything. Okay. Cute. Okay, so I like some of the story and cutesy aspects. We're underwater now. We've drilled this far down. Underwater Mets. We have needles. It's been so long since I've played, I've forgotten how to dodge Mets. Okay, we had some interesting. Can you not? That is kind of tricky. We did just hit a checkpoint. Yeah, okay. And now I've remembered how to dodge Mets. Ha! Okay, this is a tricky mini-boss. I don't like this mini-boss. I think the concept isn't bad. It could do without the spikes there, or make the ceiling a little bit more of a leeway. I would like some more leeway in this, but otherwise, the concept is fine. Execution just needed some tweaking. Okay, so how come the other underwater Mets were a different color and these are, you know, this color? Why are we going down? Where do I want to be going here? I don't want to go that way, that's for sure. Let's go down. Watch this just be a path where... I was trying to jump higher. Fortunately, we have good checkpointing. We had the checkpoint that was shortly before the thing, and now we have the checkpoint at... Well, now I can go down here. Okay, so this is what I thought it was going to be. It's just a... just an alternate path if you had fallen down, but nothing really significant here. Don't even need the easy E. I'm glad those walkers are being used very sparingly. Did I miss some other secret? Why is there not a secret this way? Why are you putting this here? I must have missed something. What else did I miss, though? I'm gonna take the needle path. I like that better than dealing with... I like how you can have the option of dealing with one of those walkers or taking a path involving some needles. That's a cute way to use footholders. Footholders and jump. I didn't know you could do that. Oh my goodness. I want to do this legit because it deserves to have it done legit, and I could be doing this so much better. There we go. And this is the problem with footholder platforms, especially fast footholder platforms. I don't even know when to jump. That was clearly not the right time. I'm not a fan of fast footholders. I'm not a fan of slow footholders either. Okay, piercing weapon? Thank you, saltwater. I don't know if that was actually piercing, but it was effective. That's all I care about. And then we have Sparkman. Oh, I thought we were setting up for Needleman. Oh, yeah, we have more problems coming. I've forgotten Sparkman's weakness. Oh yeah, that's right. All the Mega Man 3 Robot Masters are weak to their own weapons. I froze the junk block. Whoa, hello. We aren't done yet. So Gemini Man was also I'm not going to try and make that jump. I'm not going the right way. Yeah, I figured that would have resulted in some stuff, but I can get the stuff anyways. Beat fetch. Beat fetch. Beat fetch the Yo-Chi-Chi. I didn't need you to fetch that thing. Get out of here. You're done. Need a log driven out of my home by those two lugs. I showed Sparkman who's boss, and he sent that splitter after me. Barely made it out in one piece, but he'll never find me in here. No one ever goes to the left. I almost feel like this stage could be better told if we were playing as Needleman. These underwater Met trios. These underwater delicate jumps. I could jump as high as I wanted to on that one. Oh, that was convenient. Need a log. Run out of town. Run out of my own base. Those two. They just ganged up on me. I tried to hide, but that split freak found me and drained my core, I swear. When Pops rebuilds me, he better use some of that Basnium stuff I've been hearing about. Oh, Basnium. Oh, yeah, that he used to build base. Then I'll show him I'm not some chump to push around. Alright, so we have a fight with Gemini Man. And we have your weakness for Mega Man 3, so it better still be your weakness here. There's a footholder here for almost no real reason. Though, we still have more to do. We gotta find Needleman. We found Needleman! Did you take him out, Mega? I'm out of juice as it is, so just take my element and go. Also, okay. So we were, like, searching for and rescuing Needleman. I do like the story of this stage. I do feel the Gemini section was a bit short. I think the pacing of this stage could have been a little bit better, have Sparkman appear a bit earlier and not have as much of that, or you could probably cut out like a third of that early stuff and still be fine, because there was a couple sections in there where it was just kind of like not much was really happening, and we're just traveling through large, uneventful rooms. And then they have a little bit more to the Gemini section. So that way you have, like, the Sparkman actually appears, like, midway through the stage, rather than, like, 2/3 through the stage. This one is just super, super unfocused. Were you not paying attention to the story? Like, at all? Switching between 4 completely different tile sets feels like a bit much. I'm really This is like the second time, or like third or fourth time, really. I'm like borderline ready to fire you. Let's see. Let's finish reading this first. Gameplay-wise, the footholders are the worst events. They move so fast that sometimes it's hard to predict where they'll be. It just becomes frustrating and not a good challenge. I can agree with a little bit of that. Although, checkpointing for those sections was already... Actually, checkpointing for this whole stage was like just so spot on perfect. I think that's like I think checkpointing is a huge thing, whether it's really good checkpointing or really bad checkpointing, or lacking checkpoints. Like, sometimes the judges comment on that a little bit, but I feel like it's not as prevalently talked about as it should be in these judge comments. A lot of the rest of the level is fine, but the part where you mix the footholders and junk blocks to get up the one platform was legit really good. It almost felt out of place since it was such a step up. It was a cute thing that was done once. The story also doesn't add a ton to the level, just to the general confusion. It helps make sense of the different tile sets I'll finish reading, and then... Okay. I think if you mixed Needleman and the other Robot Master stages to make hybrids, like they took over his base, it could have been a lot better instead of just alternating. Wait, what? Like, okay, we had a little bit of alternate where we went down into the water that early on into the sort of Gemini side and then back out to more Sparkman stuff, but the whole storyline was those two Robot Masters kicking Needleman out of his base. How are you saying it's not? I think you did that slightly, but doing it more would have made the narrative and the gameplay actually mesh into something much better. Good attempt, but it falls short. Parmesan, you're fired. Alright, I know we've agreed, but this is like fourth or fifth time borderline firing. It's time to fire you. Seeing the first rooms, I was scared that this was going to be the whole level. Yes, thank God it wasn't. Besides the first screens and that one other footholder section, the stage was enjoyable. Shame that those footholder sections weighed it down. One part that stood out to me was the combination of junk blocks and footholders, as the footholder dropped junk blocks onto a stack. That was pretty neat. I would have liked to have seen more done with that concept, but given the 48-hour restraint, I don't think that combination could be as fleshed out as it was. Again, that's more of like the time constraint. Still, I wanted more. I feel like I say that of a lot of the stages in this contest, and I think a lot of those comments just stem from only having 48 hours to build the stage. Yeah, it's pretty neat. I've said footholder too much, haven't I? Nobody talked about checkpointing. If you talk about checkpoint, I swear. You've all played Mega Man Maker, right? So you're all familiar with the Cree-IV boss arena, e.g. the room where you fight Cutman on a conveyor belt pushing you towards a row of fire pillars while a tech shoots at you from above or whatever. This contest has a lot of boss fights, which aren't quite as convoluted, but still operate on the same person. Can you just, like, not reference other things in your judge comments? Like, you could just talk about the general concept of having boss fight rooms that are crowded and overbearing with other stuff, without having to reference some Cree-IV boss arena. Anyways, but still operate on the same principle. Can't make my own custom boss, but I can make my own custom boss room. That'll make my levels stand out. Well, this level has not one, but two creative. This is just a stupid way of spelling creative. This is why you're fired for like the 4th time now. Or 5th. Who's counting? Somebody in the comments I know is counting how many times I've fired you, Jack. Well, add another one. I wish it didn't. Because those rooms suck the fun out of their respective fights, and the... What? So creative boss rooms, which weren't even... They weren't what? They weren't overbearing or anything. It was just a different twist instead of just having a plain square room. But yet your still overall score is 79 over higher than everyone else. In spite of this comment that the rooms suck the fun out, and yet the stage still has a score of 79? What? Did I just okay, I know I said at the beginning of this that I hadn't really recorded in a couple of weeks. Did I just come back to the Twilight Zone or something? Nothing is making sense to me anymore. Is this just how Tier 8 is going to go? Fortunately, the rest of the level is very good. I initially was terrified of those footholders, but they're actually used very well, with special care to not have them fire at you while you're timing your... I do appreciate them not firing. And with very clear drop points to leap from one to another. That's debatable. There were also a lot of nice little split paths and clever little hidden areas. I'm a big fan of that room with the trash conveyor in particular, because it really sells the idea we're in some sort of garbage factory, I think. Well, you need to kind of find... I guess that's one gripe I kind of have, is you kind of have to find some of the hidden, out-of-the-way areas in order to get the full narrative of the of what's going on in the stage. That could detract from, letting players understand the confusion, as one fired judge would put it. In general, this stage is really good at varying up the level architecture to tell a story, even without the text boxes explaining that Needleman is being run out of his spike factory or whatever. So yes, great stage, but those boss fights, not a fan. Whatever. Nothing infuriates me more than playing a level that seemed to be a rather decent length, and then suddenly, for absolutely no reason, here's another tiny section with Gemini Man, because why not? What do you mean for absolutely no reason? The tile sets, the narrative. Absolutely pointless. And just drags out a level for no good reason. It's all about self-control. I did say before we got here that I think you could take away a third of the first section and shorten that up a bit. But half of what Freems is saying doesn't really match logic or reason, or... I'm definitely in the Twilight Zone. For the level itself, enemy placement was alright, but nothing really stood out to me. The junk block gimmick was hardly relevant, except in one situation where it was combined with a footholder, which was nice. The fact that the Napalm Man caves were mostly underwater was a little strange from both an aesthetic standpoint, as you really couldn't tell outside of entering and exiting, and how the underwater gimmick seemed to navigate a few of the level's own designs. Why was there a footholder moving up and down to act as a platform, when underwater physics means I can just jump up normally? And jumping on footholders zooming at 3,000 miles per hour is not a great time. I do agree with that one. It wasn't the worst thing ever, and the checkpointing made it very much bearable. Really, I just don't know why this level was so all over the place. The whole Napalm Man caves really didn't do much for the whole level at all, when you could have been trying to think of more interesting uses of the junk blocks or even the footholders besides gotta go fast. More time on interesting setups like that, less time on Surprise Gemini Man area. More time on Surprise Gemini Man area, less time on the other stuff. Okay, so they had junk blocks and footholders as their gimmick. Well, they had to use footholders. You can't just poo-poo the stage because, oh no, it's using footholders in a stage where they're forced to use footholders due to their box. Like, I know players could have had 3 different boxes, but maybe this is the best overall combination for them. But sometimes I feel like with some of these judges, the way this particular contest is designed, where you have to use certain box assets, and then judges kind of penalizing people for having some of those box assets. I don't feel that's very fair given the nature of this contest. If this was like Make a Good Mega Man Level 3 and you can just free reign, do and design whatever you want, okay, fine, poo-poo someone for using footholders like this, but when they're forced to use footholders, what do you want them to do? Make them completely irrelevant the entire stage, just being there to be there? Or do something like what this person did and try to do something at least creative with the speed up thing and then combining with the junk blocks? I would rather have what we had. I mean, I guess the stage still got 39th place, but given the judge comments, it feels like it should be a couple tiers lower. Let's talk to you. I ran out of paper, so I came here looking for more. These shelves have rectangular folders full of paper. Most of it already has something printed on both sides. It's such a pain to cut out the blank pieces. But your spinning around is like... That's how I feel. That's how I felt this whole video. Alright, well. We have low gravity. That's one of my favorite things. And we're in Tier 8, so it's gotta be good, right? We'll find out next time. So for now, I'll take my leave.